to clear Guillaume off the top of his hand. The problem is there's an Urza's factory over there, and Heezy didn't really have anything to follow up with.
And there's a mystical teaching still. You know, he ends that fight with the mystical teachings in his yard also, so he can.
What's Guillaume going to go get? Teachings for teachings.
Yep.
Invest.
Start rebuilding his hand. He's got 4 careful considerations also in his deck, so. He did that main phase.
Yeah, he wanted to take the opportunity while Heezy was tapped out. Mark plays yet another land. Oh, Guillaume drew AI Chronicler. And cancel off the top of Guillaume's deck. Herbert holds down to 14. So somehow Guillaume seems to be winning this game. He lost the big counter war. It's just all Urza's factory. It's just that relevant. One guy's got one and the other doesn't. And Mark is going to flashback at teachings. Does he need to go get careful consideration or something that can get him back in the...
Go get extra pay?
Goes to get extra pay. So what's he gonna? Is he gonna use it immediately? What does he want to go get?
He can hit the mystical teachings.
Is there one in the yard? Isn't there one in hand and one RFG?
There's one RFG.
It's all the more reason for Guillaume to take the opportunity to flashback that teachings.
Yeah.
Right. While Mark's tapped out, he can't split second out an extra paid or.
He can. How many? We have 2 cancels now. He can hit the cancels. That's what he's been doing.
Sure.
Make sure all of his subsequent spells for the rest of the game stick.
Is that careful consideration? Okay, Mark had one in hand. Now these guys both have a full package of 4 cancels. I saw a lot of people playing dismal failures over the course of the weekend. How many dismal failures do these guys have?
I don't think that there are any in. I don't believe there are
Mark
any in Mark's. In Mark's main deck, he has 1 in the board
and none in the main. So his permission is 4 cancels and a couple of draining welks. Guillaume exactly the same?
Yeah.
It's actually striking to me how many similar conclusions these guys came to.
Yeah.
I mean, they did not work together. I mean, it seems like, Herbert Holtz had Gabe Nassif on his team. I mean, the other guys are French. I don't think Gabe worked with both teams. I think Gabe was just over on the Heezy team. And both teams came to very similar conclusions about the format. So Herbert's been digging with careful consideration. Getting attacked by 2/2s.
Yeah, this is like an outpost battle right now.
Yeah, it really is.
You have to wrath away and reset the board. And really the only answer he's going to have is to find his own outpost.
Yeah, that's the only answer to the main deck. Should have put political trickery on the bonus sheet.
Or what was the artifact that lands with abilities don't untap?
Herbert Holtz does indeed go for the extra pace. Looks like he pointed at cancel, and he's going to get 1 for his troubles, right?
Yep.
Gets a cancel out of hands, and 1 out of the deck. Gets to see exactly what he's been being forced to play around. So what is Guillaume's hand? It's a little shiny for me.
It's a Chronicler, a Teachings,
and some other blue
careful
card.
Consideration.
Careful consideration, okay.
So now the only permission left in the deck that he has to play around is the 2 draining welks.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that in the mystical teachings represents a draining welk.
It does.
Does Mark have an Urza's Factory of his own now?
No, he's charging up sword.
No, down there. I believe he does.
Uh-huh.
Mark just plays away and passes the turn. Interesting things about the Urza's Factor battles is those are also windows for you to get your spells through. Your opponent taps out to make a token. Then you got a window to teachings. You got a window to flash out at the ferry. So Waffletop is making a token, it looks like. And now Mark has asked him to hold on a second. Let me see if there's something I'd like to do here.
In the forums, they're asking us to list the top 5 active American Magic players.
Oh, Mark Herberholz.
I think he's on the list. Yeah, I mean, the Americans had a pretty good weekend here in terms of getting a lot of players through to day 2. But then the thing that kind of happened on day 2 is it seemed like a lot of veteran players sort of rose to the top. And people who'd been there and, could handle 16 rounds of brain fatigue and sort of knew the matchups inside and out.
There were also a number of young American players who are PTQ veterans who started coming to the Pro Tours because, well, there wasn't a cash prize on the online anymore. Now there's a ticket.
Right.
And
you saw some good young Americans make a run. There were like 29 Americans on day 2, but only Mark Herberholz got through to the top 8.
Antonino DeRosa has to be
100% agree.
Right up there. I keep thinking about it, though. I don't want to... Top 5 American players.
Rich Hagon from down on the floor is offering up #1 ranked two-headed giant player in the world.
I don't believe he's #1 anymore.
Gerard Fabiano.
I think Havlik and the guys from Amsterdam are #1.
Oh, is that right?
If we're going to go by two-headed giant rating, then, Matt Wang and Steve O are
pretty high.
Pretty high up there. So, Easy took that opportunity to
sneak it to Ferry into play.
Mark can buy a lot of turns with his tendrils on a token.
On the back table, sounds like Saito's got Stormbind in play again. Minamura's got a Finkel going, but Stormbind's permanent, right?
Like Saito said, he only has to do 20 in that match. He was very happy to not see any tendrils on the deck list.
Yeah.
So Waffletop was dug into his deck with the careful consideration. Now he's using Mystical Teachings. We'll get a sudden death and take care of that to Ferry.
Looks that way.